Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a position. It can be seated, it can be lying down, but the goal, of course, is to find something that's both sturdy and comfortable. You don't want to be distracted by your body because you're sitting in an uncomfortable way. And you also want a sense of stability because it gives you this grounded feeling, this feeling of I am going to be here and I'm not about to get up and go do something else. So find what works for you. Sitting in a chair works really well. You can lie down, or you can even sit in a formal meditation posture. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. But if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, or you feel more comfortable doing so, go ahead and do that. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, drop your gaze away from the screen and drop it gently down below you, kind of looking at the floor or the desk or whatever is just below you. We're not staring at a specific spot in the floor, and we're also not zoned out and blurry. We have a gentle gaze directed softly, yet clearly downwards. You're in a comfortable and sturdy position, and your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly downwards. It's important to begin a practice with a sense of not doing, because it feels like we're here to do something, to accomplish something, to figure something out, to solve some sort of problem. But this doing and action seeking is a lot of the times a major part of our problem. We don't allow ourselves to actually not do. We don't allow ourselves to just drop the load of suffering. So as we begin this, just see if you can allow yourself to have a sense of allowing, letting things be as they are, and see if you can kind of forget about controlling or trying to get some sort of special experience. Just leave it all alone. Allow everything to be exactly as it is. Allow everything to be as it already is before you think about it. And we're not allowing things to be as they are for any particular purpose or reason. We allow them to be for no reason at all. You may notice too how the mind doesn't really know how to do this. It doesn't know how to let things be because the nature of thinking is to worry, contemplate, analyze, dissect, judge, and control. But the good news is that you are not your thoughts. These thoughts come and go in the same way your heartbeat beats on and off. It happens by itself. Although we don't believe this, we're convinced that I'm the thinker. I'm doing it. So it's not enough just to hear this. We must see that we are not our thoughts for ourselves. And we do this by bringing our attention to the coming and going sensations of the breath. For the next minute or so, just notice the breath and leave thinking alone. See how long this can be achieved. And if you're normal, I'm probably catching you thinking. No longer the breath is in your attention. But this is okay. This is the practice. Thoughts don't have to be quiet or shut off. We just have to leave them alone, like we leave alone the sound of birds outside our window. When you notice you're lost in thought, simply return to the breath. No effort, really, just a gentle return and a gentle reminder. Just come back. And just come back again to the breath. Remember, thoughts don't have to be quiet for you to notice the breath. We just leave it alone. And don't worry if you're doing this right or wrong. Don't judge. Just keep returning to the breath for no reason at all. Just make the breath the centerpiece of your attention. not concentrating or focusing, just a light awareness of breathing, thoughts in the background. As Shunyo Suzuki puts it, during meditation, we leave the front door and the back door of our minds open. Let thoughts come and go as they please. Just don't serve them any tea, because then they will want to stay. Breathing. Wake up. Wake up from thinking. Return to breathing, rising and falling. Maybe I'm catching you in the middle of a thought again. It's okay. The one that judges our ability to do this is also just false. But it's interesting, isn't it, that these thoughts seem to be talking to something, some sort of me center, some sort of I center to which all experience happens to. Can you find this one? The breath can be found with our attention, but can the one that breathes be found? The one that hears this voice, feels these feelings, thinks these thoughts, can that be found? Use your attention in the same way you bring your attention to the breath, bring your attention to you. What happens? We're not thinking about this. And if you find yourself struggling to figure it out, it's because you're thinking. You're looking at your thoughts. What sees thoughts? Look there. Turn the attention back. Look for the looker. Turn it around. What hears this voice? What is doing the looking? When we say I'm happy, I'm tired, where is that? What is that? If you don't understand, good. Stay there. Immediately upon looking, there's this don't know-ness, this not understanding, this clear, free something. It's not even a thing. Look, what am I? Look. And when there's nothing to be found, relax. Relax as this don't know, not found mind. And completely rest. All right, you can look at the screen. This practice is so simple that it can be very hard to understand because it's not about understanding. It's a return to basically our senses. It's a return to experience itself. We feel to be on the outside of experience, having an experience. As if there's two. There's our haver of experience and then experience itself. This little person that we've referred to ourselves as, this seer of sights, hearer of sounds, is the basis of our suffering. Because this little entity we imagine ourselves to be is a product of simply thinking. Now, telling you this isn't really going to help you. You have to see this yourself. This has to be completely understood from your own experience. And when you see that this I, this me, is made up, like if I think of a unicorn, it can be real in my head, but it's not really real. Or if I think of something else, it's not really real, it's in my head. Same thing with I. This little I thing is the root of our suffering because thoughts themselves are always looking for more. It's a survival mechanism given to us by evolution. It allows us to worry about the future, to wonder if things are going the right way, always worrying about ourselves and our well-being. It's always wanting to be protected. It's a survival mechanism. It allows us to survive in the wild very well. But now we're in these societies, thinking isn't as crazy necessary as we believe it to be. In fact, it's actively making our lives difficult. When there's called type 1, type 2 errors. And these errors are basically the type of error that is made when there's a rustle in the bushes, the one that says, oh, that's probably just the wind, and the one that says, oh my God, what if that's a tiger, and runs away. The one that ran away because it was afraid survived more often than the one that was like, who cares? So we have been primed to be worried about things and to always seek problems and solve them. So if we believe to be this little entity, which is only exists as thoughts, that little entity is like this thing of fear, regret, worry, frustration, doubt, unsatisfactoriness, suffering that is pushed around by the big bad universe, and it only exists as thinking. You can drop the pain because you're creating it. And you only drop the pain by dropping thinking. Learning to bring your attention away from the thought factory. It gives you convincingly the real picture that you are not these thoughts, that you're not anything really. That experience and this so-called you are one. There's no separation. But these words won't help you. Practice. You must see it for yourself. If you don't, then you'll just continue on your whole life feeling like poor little me. Like everyone else does. I do it. But if you practice, you have the doorway, this opening to let that go at any moment. Complete freedom from suffering. Thank you for showing up today. And as always and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.